Ma'am, y'all have me trying to pay this woman child support, and I've been having my child all this long
Objection, Your
time.
Honor.
She lied on the oath. I'm paying somebody's bill instead of helping my child who can come stay back with me.
I don't know what part of this trial thing y'all don't seem to get. I get to ask the question, and then you answer the question.
This really started because she called because she wanted to borrow some money.
Miss Gibson, if you unmute yourself one more time, I'm going to evoke you and reject you and throw you out of my courtroom. Do you understand? Nod your head yes if you understand that you are this close to being removed from the courtroom. You understand? This appears to be a suit affecting that you filed back in March.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is the state ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
If your witnesses have been sworn,
Thank you, Your Honor.
call your first witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. This time I will call Miss Gibson. Will you please state your name?
My name is Natasha Gibson.
And we are here today to talk about your child, Jacory Thomas. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. Jacory Thomas. Yes, ma'am.
And how old is Jacory?
Jacory is 15 now. He's going to be 16 in July.
Was he born in 2009 or 2008?
He was born 2009.
Okay, so he's getting ready to be 15?
Yeah, I mean 15. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you live in Jefferson County?
Yes, ma'am.
Does Jacory live with you?
Yes, ma'am.
And
And
who?
he on my lease as well. Yes.
Okay, who is his father?
Christopher Lee Thomas.
At the time Jacory was born, did you and Mr. Thomas sign paperwork saying he was his father?
Yeah, he signed the birth certificate.
Your Honor, at this time I would offer the acknowledgement of paternity as Exhibit A.
Gibson, I've just placed on the screen a copy of the alleged acknowledgement of paternity for Jacory. Is it okay if I look at this document?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Thomas, the same question. May I look at this document?
Yes, sir, you may.
States Exhibit A is admitted into evidence.
Now, Miss Gibson, are you seeking back child support or to start from here forward?
Well, I just want a year. I'm not trying to get the max back pay or anything. I just would like a year or 2 years because I've been having him since I moved back, and
Okay.
I've been doing this by myself. Like, it's not fair. It's just one child. My other oldest son.
Now, let me ask you some questions. Okay. In the last, you said you wanted 1 year or 2 years?
Really 2 years.
Okay. In the last 2 years, have you and Mr. Thomas lived together?
No, ever.
Okay. And in the last 2 years, has Jacory gone to live with his dad?
No.
Okay. And in the last 2 years, has Mr. Thomas paid you any money for child support?
No.
Okay.
Haven't brought nothing, no school clothes, shoes, a haircut, McDonald's, nothing. Not a Christmas, not a pick me up, it's raining, not a don't answer, don't reply, don't nothing.
Miss Gibson.
I'm sorry.
You need to object, Ms. Brownzito, if the witness is not responding properly. Ms. Gibson, just answer the question, okay?
I'm sorry.
Now,
okay, yes,
does Jacory visit with his dad?
Jacori told me Jacori go play basketball so on Saturdays, and he every night, like this about the 3rd time, I was like, call your dad and see if he can drop you off.
Objection, Your Honor, non-responsive.
That's sustained.
Now, Miss Gibson.
I'm sorry. Excuse me, to cut you off. We doing this one at a time, or could I talk doing this?
I'm gonna give
because he dropped them off. He dropped them off to the.
Okay. Both witnesses have now been muted. Miss Gibson, I need you to just plainly listen to the question that Miss Brown Zito asks you and answer her question. I don't need you to answer questions she didn't ask you, okay? I'll give you an opportunity at some point in time during the hearing to give me other information you think I need to know. Mr. Thomas, you will be given an opportunity to respond, I promise, okay? You're both unrepresented by counsel. Neither of you have an attorney. So as what we call pro se parties, I will give you a chance to give me information, okay? All right, Miss Brown Zito, please re-ask your question of Miss Gibson. Miss Gibson, you may unmute.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Gibson, does Jacori visit with his dad?
No. He
Does he go on weekends with his dad?
No.
Does Mr. Thomas try to get him to go on weekends with him?
No.
Okay. Do you have a problem with Jacori going with his dad on weekends?
Nope.
Okay. Does Mr. Thomas have any other minor children that you're aware of?
No, ma'am.
Your Honor, I pass this witness.
Let me call your next witness.
I would call Mr. Thomas. Will you please state your name?
You can
You'll need
unmute
to
Mr. Thomas.
star 6 to, there you go.
Christopher Thomas.
Okay. And you are Jacori's dad?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you working?
Yes, I am.
And where do you work?
I'm working at the plant right now.
What plant?
El Valero.
Do you work for Valero or do you
A contract.
a
with
contractor?
Valero.
Okay. Do you get paid by the hour?
Yes, ma'am.
And how much do you make an hour?
I'm making 26 now.
Do you work 40 hours a week?
Ma'am, y'all have me trying to pay this woman child support, and I've been having my child all this long
Objection,
time.
Your Honor. Objection, Your Honor, non-responsive.
I mean,
Mr. Thomas?
okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Just answer the question. I'll give you a chance, I promise.
Mr. Thomas, do you work at least 40 hours a week? Do you work over 40
Yes,
hours?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Right now we are.
Okay. Do you have insurance available for your child?
No, I don't.
Your Honor, I'm not sure if I asked Miss Gibson if how the
one
child was
question,
covered.
one-
Yeah, I
one
did.
question.
I was just.
No, Miss
He
Gibson,
have Medicaid for
Miss-
him. I have Medicaid for Jacori. Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Yeah, me too.
I was just asking if I'd asked that question. I didn't remember if I'd asked it.
You didn't.
Mr. Thomas, do you visit with Jacori?
Yes, ma'am, I do. She lied on the oath because on Saturdays, I'm the one who dropped her to her house and she comes outside and asks me to give her money. I'm the person she talks to. So I don't know why she lied on the oath like that. Matter of fact, my child is asking me for a ride to the wreck right now. He texting me after this phone conversation. I have to go to her house to pick him up, but she's telling you I don't visit my child.
I told him to text you.
Objection, Your Honor. Objection, Your Honor. Non-responsive.
Your Honor,
Objection.
I'm not trying to be rude or anything or anything.
Mr. Thomas,
I just want
Mr. Thomas, this is my courtroom. And in my courtroom, I expect you to follow the rules of my courtroom. And it really
sir,
doesn't.
I'm sorry.
I know, but being sorry doesn't fix it because you're not fixing your behavior.
Right.
Okay?
You're right.
Have I told you, Mr. Thomas? I know, Mr. Thomas, but there you're still interrupting. Have I told you, Mr. Thomas, that I was going to give you a chance to give me your side of the story? Did I tell you that at least once?
Yes, you did. Yes, sir.
And yet you still refuse to answer the questions of Miss Brown Zito. And I don't know why.
Sorry, Ms. Rito. I just feel like I'm not going to get a chance to say, and I feel like I'm paying somebody's bill instead of helping my child who can come stay back with me.
Again, Mr. Thomas, just answer the question of Miss Brown Zito.
What is the question, Ms. Rito? I'm sorry.
That's right. What is the question, Miss Brown Zito?
I don't know if I've forgotten. I think the question was, do you visit with your child?
Yes,
I think that was
do.
Okay. Do you want to be able to visit with him on weekends?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you have any other minor children? And you stated that you do not have insurance. Is that correct?
No, I'm not. I don't have it.
Okay. And in the last 24 months, have you lived with Miss Gibson?
No, I haven't.
In the last 24 months, has your child come to live with you?
No, I don't know that technically. I'm gonna say no because I don't know how to answer that.
In the last 24 months, have you given Miss Gibson any money for child support for your child?
Yes.
And how much
Yes.
money do you say that you've given to her in the last 24 months?
I don't know total, but it'll be like she always asking for like $60 or $40 a week or something like that. I have that on Cash App to prove.
And you say you've given her that much every week?
Yes, Cash App to prove.
On how many occasions do you say that you've sent her money through Cash App?
Not all the time, but most of the time. I can retract that on my every week, but it's a lot.
Do you have an amount that you say that you've given to her every month?
Total amount at least 140, 120.
Every month?
Yeah, 20s add up.
Okay. Your Honor, I would pass this witness.
Call your next witness.
At this time, I would call Ms. Gray.
She's been sworn.
Will you please state your name?
Chastine Gray,
And where do you work?
Office of the Attorney General,
How long have you worked there?
2 years.
And in that time, what is your capacity?
I am a child support officer.
As a child support officer, do you have occasion to review the wages of our customers?
Yes, I do.
And did you do so in this case?
I did.
And in the last 4 quarters, do we have wages for Mr. Thomas?
Yes, we did.
And what are those wages? Let's
Um,
start
it-
with the fourth quarter and go back to the first
Just
quarter.
the monthly gross will be fine, Ms. Brown.
Okay.
You want the monthly gross? $3,429.90 was the monthly gross for those wages.
Do you have you looked at that in listening to his testimony? Have you looked at that for, that was over the last year, but do we have wages for him for the year before?
Year before 23,
Yes.
I believe we did. I just had the 23 year wages.
Is it that we don't have any wages for that for the year before then? Or you don't know?
I don't have anything before 23 before me. I myself don't have them. Doesn't mean that they're not there.
Your Honor, I would pass this witness.
Do you have any additional witnesses that you wish to call, Ms. Brown?
If I could briefly recall Mr. Thomas.
Yes.
Mr. Thomas, where did you work in 2022?
I worked at Exxon.
And were you working for a contractor there as well?
Yes,
No.
ma'am.
And when you worked for Exxon, how much did you make an hour?
26.
Hey, 25.
And did you work there the entire year of 2023?
He been there for 3 years.
Ms. Gibson,
For
what part of my earlier statement doesn't seem to get through to you that I've asked you not to talk until somebody asks you a question?
yes, sir.
Go ahead, Ms. Brown.
Mr. Thomas, did you work there the entire year of 2022?
Yes, ma'am.
And then you came over to Valero?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Your Honor, I pass the witness.
Thank you. Do you have any additional witnesses that you wish to call, Ms. Brown?
I do not, Your Honor.
Mr. Thomas, can I ask you some questions, please?
Yes, sir, you can.
Mr. Thomas, I have a child that's almost 15 years old, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Now, this child was born in Harris County. but now resides in my county here in Jefferson County, correct?
Yes, sir.
What county do you live in, Mr. Thomas?
Right here in Jefferson.
Okay. So you and the mom both live in the same county, yes?
Yes, sir. He stayed basically almost down the street.
Okay. So do you get to see Jacori on a pretty regular basis?
Yes, sir, I do. And I'm not lying. I'm under oath,
It's o-
sir.
It's okay,
I'm
Mr.
under
Thomas. You don't have to tell me that you're lying or not lying. I'm gonna believe what you tell me until I see something different, okay? All right.
Yes,
So
sir.
does Jacori come to stay the night with you?
No, he don't.
Okay. How come?
Don't know. He's busy, like playing basketball. He's doing that. Like she said, he played basketball on the weekends. So he go do that. He like to hang out over there because she said he talked to some girls. So he basically go over there for that. And I don't know.
That's okay.
Sir, I
Yeah.
really, sir, to be honest, to tell you the truth, this is my mother house that I'm at.
Right.
I really don't stay here. I really stay in Houston. So it's just like on the weekends, I'm going, when I do see him, I'm really in Houston or I'm at work all the time. You know, I'm working at Valero or before that Exxon. I'm working all day. So, man, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm trying to get an idea,
Yeah.
Mr. I'm just trying to get an
Yeah, I
idea.
understand.
Okay. But Jacori does stay at his mother's, Miss Gibson's house overnight until you get to pick him up and visit with him, right?
Or he come over here for a ride.
Right. But I mean, at night he's staying at Miss Gibson's house.
Yes, sir, he is.
Okay. Okay. All right. Mr. Thomas, you live in Jefferson County, but when you get done with your job at Valero, do you intend to move back to Harris County?
I don't know, sir.
Right. When you worked at Exxon, was that out here local or was that back in Houston?
That was out here in local in Jefferson.
So you've been here the last couple of years.
Yes, I've been here. Me and him.
Right. Well, I know he's been here, but I didn't know about you. That's why I was asking about you.
Yes, me and him, and I don't know where she's been.
Okay.
She's been nowhere. I haven't physically seen her, no lie, in 16 years.
Okay. And you said that Jacori called you this morning to take him to the rec center?
Yes, sir, he did.
What time were you
You
planning
heard
on?
that on my.
What time were you?
Oh, I guess.
Mr. Thomas,
I
what,
guess after
Mr.
this meeting, sir.
Mr. Thomas, what time were you planning on taking Jacori to the rec center today?
After this session, sir.
Is Jacori not in school?
I'm trying to figure it out too. The calls be coming over here, they be missing days, but they say he be gone. So I don't know.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Thomas. I'll be right back with you, okay?
Yes, sir.
Miss Gibson, can you unmute for me, please?
All right, I look, I'm sorry.
No, Miss Gibson. I don't need.
It's sad.
Listen, y'all. I don't know what part of this trial thing y'all don't seem to get.
Yes, sir.
I get to ask the question and then you answer the question.
Yeah, I know. I apologize.
I know, but you just can't help yourself, Miss Gibson.
Yeah, because it hurt my son. You just don't know. It hurt him so.
If you would just be patient for just a couple of minutes and answer the questions that I ask you, then I will give you a chance to rant at me about what it is that you think is in Jacori's best interest, okay?
Yeah, it hurt because he don't do nothing and he lives down the street.
Let me see if I can ask you some questions, Miss Gibson. All right.
That hurt my son. My son happy. My son, so he went to school, was like, yes, I hope something will happen.
Is Jacori in school, Miss Gibson?
Yes, sir.
All right. What school does he attend?
Smith Middle School. And he got A's. He got hundreds, A's, B's.
What school does he attend?
Smith Middle School. And his oldest brother, he just turned 18. He go to BU, and his daddy committed suicide 5 years ago.
Miss Gibson,
But
what does that have to do with what school Jacori goes to?
well, I'm just saying, Jacori, he like Chris don't do that. Like I put him in AA. He loved basketball.
Okay.
That's your only child. What's wrong? I paid for this. You don't pick up. I got him a new phone. I got him a number. I do everything. But that's not fair because I don't have all the means.
Right.
I don't have a boyfriend, somebody to live with me. I'm growing. I want to build.
Do you want me to give Mr. Thomas the right to see Jacori on the weekends?
Break the cycle, sir.
Miss Gibson, do you want me to give Mr. Thomas the right to see Jacori on the weekends? Do you think?
Yeah, but yeah, sure. I would love it.
Okay. Okay. Do you want me to
I would love it. And yes, I want him.
Do you want me to order Mr. Thomas to pay you child support?
Yes, please, so I can give it to my son. Yes.
Okay. I mean,
please, so we can start opening up a bank account. He can have a little change on his cash app, order what he be wanting. They order all this stuff.
What you do with the
money? I work.
Okay. What
I do with my money?
What you do with the money?
The money that I pay all my bills ahead of time. So whatever's left over, I buy groceries. I don't get too much in food stamps, so they don't give me that. I got them on Medicaid. I just, I pay everything in the house. I don't ask them for nothing. Whenever they ask me, I give it. Like he just went to the movies, I gave him $20. He do good in school.
Okay, I think I've heard enough. Mr. Thomas, is there anything else you think I need to know about the case before I make a ruling? You can unmute.
Could I say one thing before your ruling?
Sure, that's why I asked you if there was anything else you think I needed to know.
This really started because she called because she wanted to borrow some money. See, I did a really bad job of getting a lawyer and really having them like speak and talk to me because I be kind of busy at work. She wanted to borrow some money, but I didn't let her borrow money, so I got messages and messages of her telling me I'm gonna pay. So I'm not understanding. I give my child money, so what money? So I gotta pay when I give her money, and I give her every money. Man, this is what I have to go through. This girl bashed me every day on Facebook, calling me sorry about material things. Not nothing like. That's why I said at the beginning of this process, could you explain child support to her? Child support go on his needs, not if just because while I work and I make money. Not if he scuff his shoes. He need another pair of them shoes, all different color. Man, I wish you would have heard the first person. This girl kept saying, my son should have every pair of shoes that comes out, every pair of Jordans that come out, just because where I work at. Now, man, I love my son to death. I see my son. Just because this is how she got my son. I let him go over there before school started. Me and her got into a little argument. She called the police. The police do, you got to go to court because they can't remove the child from parent to parent. So they said we had to go to court anyway. So I had to leave him there. And I never went to court. I left him there. I didn't abandon him nothing. So that's how I've been seeing him while he been over there and take care of him over there. And this girl just lied under oath saying, I don't do nothing for my child. Okay. And if you listen to the stuff she said, it's like material stuff that the mother supposed to take care of. Like, all right, why I gotta take care of a haircut and he over there with you for a second? You can pay for a haircut, man. Right. I'm like I said, I did a poor job of sending blowing messages or sending messages. I got stuff where she said she bought a phone from. That's a lot. She called me, sorry, sir. I gave her the money for the phone. Right. After she bought the phone with my money, sent her more money, took the money, sent me a screenshot of the phone that she bought and called me a sorry ass parent and was bragging on Facebook about the phone that I bought to everybody. Everybody know I bought the phone. So I don't know, Judge. I don't know, man.
Well,
That's all I do.
we're gonna put the terms conditions in a formal order, Mr. Thomas, and that'll get it squared away. Then y'all won't have to worry about that part of it anymore. Okay?
Please, yeah,
If
please.
if you listen to what she say, listen to what she say she wanted though from a year. So I just stopped. My son for to be 15. He said a year and 2 years. So I wait till my son get all the way to 13, 14 to say, hey, son, I'm going to be sorry with you. I'm not going to take care of you no more.
Because I don't want to be ugly. So
He's been living with me.
That's enough.
This is
That's enough. I've tried to explain to y'all how this works, and you don't seem to want to be able to just listen rather than having to talk. Miss Gibson, if you unmute yourself one more time, I'm going to evoke you and reject you and throw you out of my courtroom. Do you understand? Nod your head yes if you understand that you are this close to being removed from the courtroom. You understand? All right, thank you. You don't have to raise your hand, Miss Gibson. I know that there is lots of things left that you want to tell me. The problem is I don't think there's anything else that either one of y'all is going to tell me that's going to have an impact on how my ruling here. Because this is what I see. I see two people that don't get along very well, but that are trying to do what they can to help Jacori. And all I'm going to do in this court order is give you both the right to continue to do that, to do the best that you can to raise this child, hopefully as you've been doing at this time. I'm going to make specific terms, conditions in regards to how Mr. Thomas has the right to visit with Jacori. And that way he doesn't have to worry about whether or not Miss Gibson is going to make the child available. Okay. And Mr. Thomas is going to be ordered to pay child support, and he's going to be ordered to pay medical support. And I could have gone back 4 years for back child support, but I'm not going to do that. Okay. So just understand that I listen to both sides of the story, but there still has to be a ruling that gets made. And so I'm going to make that ruling now. Ms. Brown-Zito, are you ready?
I am, Your Honor.
Ms. Brown-Zito, the court is going to find that the court has jurisdiction in this case. I've heard the testimony of all the witnesses, and I'm going to decide that it is in Jacori's best interest to name the parties as joint managing conservators with Miss Gibson, with the parent with the right to establish the primary residence of the child. All right, now that primary residence will be required to stay in Jefferson County or a county that touches Jefferson County. That's a local rule as far as the domicile restriction is concerned. I will order Miss Gibson to maintain the health insurance issue. Miss Gibson, I'm making my ruling. When I get done with my ruling, I'll give you some further directions, okay? So just stand by. I'm going to order that there will be a domicile restriction. I'll order Miss Gibson to maintain the health insurance that she has on the child, and Mr. Thomas is going to pay child support according to the wage information that was provided to me by the parties and Ms. Gray. Child support in this case is going to get set at $560 per month, plus $125 a month in cash medical. Retroactive child support will be granted, but only in the amount of $5,220. Mr. Thomas will be ordered to repay that at a rate of $75 a month. All payments will begin May the 1st of 2024 and every month thereafter until the child emancipates or otherwise graduates from high school. Mr. Thomas will be responsible for court costs, but I will give him until October 31st of 2024 to pay my court costs. Ms. Brown-Zito, did the state of Texas hear all the terms and conditions of my court order?
On visitation, it's just standard visitation. Is that correct? Okay.
All right. Any other questions, Ms. Brown-Zito?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Gibson and Mr. Thomas, what's going to happen now is Ms. Brown-Zito's office is going to send me an order. If it matches what I said here today, I'm going to sign it and get it back to them, and then they're going to make a copy of it and send it to each of you. Now, you don't have to be satisfied with the ruling that I've made today. If either party is dissatisfied with my ruling, you have 3 days with which to file a notice of appeal with the district clerk's office in Jefferson County. Your appeal has to be in writing. You have to file it with the district clerk's office, and you have to tell the referring court what part of my ruling you disagree with. You're also responsible for sending a written copy of that appeal to all the other non-appealing parties. All right, they'll send you a copy of it once I sign it. The hearing is concluded. Ms. Gibson, Mr. Thomas, I appreciate you both being here today. you're both free to go.